Were there any specific kind of key learnings, maybe from your operator experience that you've taken with you to now investing?
I will tell you this. When I was an operator, I did a horrible job. Not a horrible. I could have done a much better job of delegating and building the next level of leadership underneath me better. And so that's one of the things, like anything, right? The mistake you make is, the mark you carry with you, and you look for that more and more. So, it's funny. Even when I talk to funds and stuff about valuation policy, I was like, you shouldn't even write these up until there's a liquid value to it, right? Like these are all worthless, because what people start to do is they start to say, oh my God, look at these markups between pre-seed and seed and A, even A and B. And I go, yeah, but are they building in-house? We took pride in how much of our management was homegrown in-house with an internal farm system. And so I think that's one of the biggest things I carry with me. Like, are the leaders of the company, and they might not be the founders, because founders move, they just happen to be there on day one, right? And a lot of them are very important, but they don't end up always staying at the top. Are they doing a great job of building out the right type of organizational structure long term? And are they doing the things that it takes a long time to give a leader experience? And if you don't put the time in when you're short on it, it gets very expensive and very hard to import that, right? So I care a lot about, I tell people, assume you're growing your business like you're growing in Buffalo. No one wants to move there. It's cold as hell, right? Like, so how are we going to take the people we have here and be able to understand, discover what they're really amazing at, and build them up to whatever is the proper place inside the organization for them? And so that's one of the things I think I accentuate. That's not just a marketplace thing. The other thing is, I'd say specifically to marketplaces, I need to understand that they look in supply and demand, or if it's a three-sided marketplace, A, B, and C, however you want to look at it, in a way where they really got champions inside each one of those. And it ends up being an in-house communication. One of the biggest lumber companies in the world happens to be in Buffalo. And I've gotten close with them. It's a group called Bailey Lumber, very traditional business, wonderful guys, wonderful for the community. And as I got to know them, it was really interesting. This is at the same time we were doing ACV. I got to see how internally the employees, and because they ran a brokerage, they also had a marketplace. Kind of were champions for whatever they were in. And so I really want to be able to understand, has the company built a healthy culture that allows supply and demand to have a champion within them and really work on behalf of their, on behalf of the fiefdom that they're in, right? And with marketplaces, I want them being super simple, and I want them super tight, narrow, deep wedges. Too many times I see people saying we could do A, B, and C, and I don't care. I said, we could have taken ACV and sold cattle on it. We could have sold anything on it and we'd get it. The entire time I was there, we would not even let independent dealers sell on the system. That's how narrow we stayed. So I looked for these like super narrow, deep wedges. And it doesn't even need to be the biggest market in the world. I know we'll grow and expand out of that, but that's kind of the way I think of it. Those are the things that I look for. That kind of came from, because if we had gotten distracted at all at ACV, we would have been dead.